Welcome back to the second part of today's lecture on page 49 about Benway, profile about Benway, the dot-com millionaire. In this exercise or this activity we have Ben's life, and we have many sentences about Ben's life, and in each sentence we have a verb inside brackets, and we have to change this verb into past simple tense, either maybe regular or irregular. So we have here in 1980, in 1989, in 1991. So we have to complete all these blanks with the correct form of the verb in the past simple, regular or irregular. So in this example, the verb is be. So we changed this verb into was. So he was born on, and complete. By the way, the form and the structure of this form or this sentence is the past simple in the passive voice. Was plus past participle. So the sentence in the passive voice with past simple. Also, you have to complete all these verbs according to the past simple verbs. Go, went, cannot, will be cannot. You have to make this verb could and add not, and by the same way you have to complete all these verbs with the past. In this practice, regular and irregular verbs. Also, we have to change all these verbs into past simple by the same way. My granddad was born in, and you have to complete also by the same way by changing the verb into past simple by adding either ed to the end of the verb, or by changing into past with the irregular way, irregular verb. So this will be homework to complete this exercise. Also, the previous one will be completed by you. Also, we have tape script for this exercise. So let's listen, and you have to fill the blanks and take the verbs according to tape script.
Tape script 6.9. Regular and irregular verbs. 1. My granddad was born in 1932. He died in 2009. 2. My parents met in London in 1983. They got married in 1985. 3. I arrived late for the lesson. It began at 2 o'clock. 4. I caught the bus to school today. It took just 40 minutes. 5.
I had a very busy morning. I sent 30 emails before 10 o'clock.
6.
Our football team won the match 3-0. Your team lost again.
7. My brother earned a lot of money in his last job, but he left because he didn't like it. 8.
I studied Chinese for 4 years, but when I went to Shanghai, I couldn't understand a word.
So all the verbs were changed to past simple, because the sentences all in the past simple should be in the past simple. By the way, the last activity about Benway is pertaining to the tape script 6.8. All verbs are used in this activity are used in the conversation or in the tape script 6.8. Talking about you, make true sentences about you using a positive or negative. We have an activity here or exercise. Watch TV yesterday. I watched or I didn't watch TV yesterday. So you have to complete all these sentences by accepting or putting the sentence in negative, and you have to answer all these sentences by working in pairs or by completing this sentence as an exercise. And all the question should have did or all the negative sentences should have the auxiliary verb did or was or were, and in the past should have the verb ending with ed, regular or irregular verb in past simple. In exercise number 3, work with your partner. Ask and answer questions with when did you last, and complete. And the time expressions. Ask another question to get more information. Have a day. Watch a DVD. And we have here information: yesterday, morning, afternoon, evening, last night, last week, last weekend, last Monday, last month, last year. So all these words are called the adverbs of time, which have pertaining to the past tense sentences. So if you want to complete your sentence, or if you want to answer your sentence, or to add information, we may use these adverbs to show the action that happened in the past, last week, last month, last year. So these adverbs are used in past simple. To the next page, listening and reading. So the meaning of life. So we have to listen and read the text in order to answer these questions.
Part 1. A Fisherman's Life.
How long did it take to catch them? The American asked. Oh, about 2 hours, said the fisherman. Why didn't you fish for longer and catch more? The Mexican replied, I don't want to fish for longer. With this, I have enough fish for my family. But what do you do with the rest of your day? Aren't you bored? The fisherman smiled. I'm never bored. I get up late, play with my children, watch football, and take a siesta with my wife. Sometimes in the evenings I walk to the village to see my friends, play the guitar, and sing some songs.
Part 2. A Business Plan.
The American couldn't understand. Look, I am a very successful businessman. I went to Harvard University and I studied business. I can help you. Fish for 4 hours every day and sell the extra fish you catch. Then you can buy a bigger boat, catch more, and make more money. Then buy a second boat, a third, and so on, until you have a big fleet of fishing boats. You can export the fish and leave this village and move to Mexico City or LA or New York City and open a fishing business. The fisherman smiled. But how long will all this take? The businessman thought about it for a bit. Probably about 15 to 20 years, he said. And then what, senor? Asked the fisherman. Why, that's the exciting part, laughed the businessman. You can sell your business and become very rich, a millionaire.
Part 3. A better life?
A millionaire? Really? But what do I do with all the money? The young fisherman didn't look excited. The businessman could not understand this young man. Well, you can stop work and move to a lovely old fishing village where you can sleep late, play with your grandchildren, watch football, take a siesta with your wife, and walk to the village in the evenings where you can play the guitar and sing with your friends all you want. The fisherman's wife and children came running to meet him. Papa! Papa, did you catch many fish? I caught enough for us today and tomorrow, and some for this gentleman, said their father. He gave the businessman some fish, thanked him for his advice, and went home with his family.
Now, after listening to text, you have to answer all these questions. And in exercise number 3, and all these related exercises. So you have to have answers for the next lecture, and by depending on the text and reading. So in this activity we have to pay attention to listening and reading, and you have to prepare your answers for the next lecture about all these exercises. Thank you for attention, and thank you a lot.